All right, so today's theme is all about one of the niyamas, which is another limb of yoga. So yoga has 8 limbs as a practice philosophy, one of which is asana, which is the physical practice we do on the mat. And then another one of the limbs are the niyamas, and they're sort of daily practices and things we should be striving for. I often explain the yamas and niyamas, yama is another limb, are often paired together, and they're often explained as the kind of ethical limbs of yoga. More of the daily practice, like values we should be cultivating types of limbs. So they kind of go a little bit more internal often. And today we're going to focus on one of the niyamas, which is called svadhyaya, and it translates to self-study. So I think it's really common in yoga that we think about coming to the mat and kind of taking an internal focus. And today I really want to encourage, while we'll be doing obviously a physical practice and talking about alignment throughout the class, I want to encourage you to almost emphasize what's happening inside as much as what we're doing physically. So I'll really be giving space and reminders for us to almost try to pull out of ourselves and pay attention to our thoughts as if we were a stranger hearing them. And then just notice what, take little researcher notes in your brain and enjoy that observation. And it can be very, very revealing. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. I'll pop back to the computer in just a moment to lock our room. And we'll get started on our backs for our low bridge, as we often do. So we'll have the feet planted, knees up to the ceiling, and we'll lay back on the back. Close those eyes for one moment. Take a big breath in. And exhale. Just feel your body settle into the mat and take a moment to check in with where your head is at today or where your thoughts are at. We'll take one more breath here before we lift up. Inhaling, pausing at the top. And exhale with a sigh. We'll really feel the feet planted in the floor, squeeze the glutes, and rise to a low bridge. And today I'm going to ask you to actually bias it even a little lower than you normally would go. So we're still going to be paying attention to keeping the length in the tailbone, reaching towards the heels, but we're just not going to press it up maybe as high as you're used to. And that's because we're going to offer an option to kind of play with some extra stability challenges. So if you want to take that, you can listen to me. We'll bring the left foot in towards your midline just slightly and lift the right knee up over the hip. And you'll feel immediately that left glute has to work a lot more. And just notice, maybe are you freaking out at the extra work that has just been added? Does this feel good? Does it not feel good? And just notice that. And then keeping the pelvis really strong, we'll bring either hand to either side of the pelvis, squeeze in, and then just draw tiny, tiny circles with the right knee on the ceiling. So almost like you were circling around a quarter, and imagine that femur in the pelvis, in the acetabulum, just kind of serving the pocket there. And then go the other direction. Really, our focus here, we're a little bit lower so that we don't dip into the low back. Pull those ribs into the floor, and then pause with the knee. We'll lower that foot. And if you like that version, if you stuck with it, we'll go to the other side. If not, you'll stay with both feet on the floor. So if you're taking the circle option, that left leg lifts and weight into the right foot. Squeeze into the pelvis with the hands, giving some extra feedback. And we just make tiny circles with the left knee. And envision as we do this, a little lubrication in the hip joint. Deep in that socket. We'll go the other way, check in with the ribs, keep lengthening the tail. This side I have way less stability, so I'm Noticing I kind of am judging myself, taking note and just letting that go. And then pause that circle. We'll lower the foot, pause there at the top, press the palms up to the ceiling, and pull back on the right fingers with the left hand to open up that wrist. Take an inhale. On an exhale, draw the front of the ribs down and start to extend the arm over the head, moving towards the floor, but we're not aiming to touch it or anything. Just feel some opening in the shoulder. Oh, that feels so nice. Almost envisioning you are pressing the wall away from you with that hand. If you're outside, that's not a good analogy, but. And then the right hand comes back and we'll switch. So we press the left palm up, pull back on those fingers, lengthening through the arm, big inhale. And as you exhale, ribs pull down into the back body and we reach the left arm overhead to some degree. Really only going as far as we can without affecting the ribs. And we'll return the hand back towards the ceiling, let that go, and slowly lower through the back, feeling the spine sequentially land, and just close those eyes and take a moment to check in again. I'll lock our Zoom room here. And this is where that prop is going to come into play. You can use a shirt or a book. If you have a yoga block, that's great. So you'll flutter those eyes open. We'll extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Feel the sacrum weighted down towards the floor, that back of the pelvis. And then take your prop. Actually, I lied to you. We'll leave the prop for just a moment. Interlace those hands behind the head. Elbows come up to the ceiling. Take a big inhale. Exhale, draw down in the front body and lift those shoulders and the head off the floor. Aiming to pull the tips of the shoulder blades off the mat. And then once you reach the top, we'll pause and reach the arms up towards the ceiling as well. Almost envisioning what we just talked about, like we were pressing the wall away from us, but now it's the ceiling. Hands return behind the head, inhale, lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Extend those arms up to the ceiling. Really reach, and then as you're reaching, feel like your tailbone is curling up slightly towards the ceiling. You won't really see anything change, just notice it. And check in with your thoughts right now. Hands behind the head, inhale, lower. We're gonna change this up a bit now that prop is coming into play. So we'll hold the prop between our hands. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, again, towards the floor, but not aiming to touch it necessarily. Keep the rib cage in. Inhale. Exhale, using the front body, we pull head and shoulder blades up, and then maybe reach so far that you can slide this prop between the feet, or you could even do between the calves. We bring the hands behind the head, keeping shoulders lifted, and slightly lower the legs. Draw those legs back up. Take the prop with your hands. Inhale, extend back towards the floor, arms extend. Ooh, an intense one. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Reaching with those hands so far, you can slide that prop either between the feet or the legs. Hands come back behind the head and the legs slightly lower. Legs return to vertical, grab your prop. Inhale, extend. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Reaching, legs grab that prop. Hands return to the head. Lean that skull back as the legs lower slightly. Legs to vertical, grab the block or prop. Inhale, lower. This will be our last one. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Prop comes between the feet or legs, hands behind the head, and we lower to some degree. Maybe it's only an inch, that's fine. Legs back to vertical. Inhale, extend, let that prop go. Oh, take a moment. Let those knees almost pull away. Grab, put the hands on top of the knees, and you'll just feel a slight traction in the back body. And then we'll circle both knees here. So as small as we did in our core work, because we don't want to move the pelvis on the mat. Notice if you're finding some, mentally you have a desire to like move big so that it's obvious and that I feel like I'm really doing something. And I think whenever you can go the other direction with this circle, I think it's hard sometimes in our fitness practices to sometimes accept that small movement is as powerful. And we'll gently press the knees away from us, use this to lift us up, coming around onto all fours. Bringing wrists under shoulders, knees under the hips. And taking a moment to feel the long spine here. We're about to do something that is familiar for all of us, but maybe we haven't done in a long time, so I encourage a bit of childlike curiosity as we do this. We'll move the right knee forward, left arm forward, and press into the left hand, right knee, and move the left knee forward, right hand forward. So this is a crawl, no doubt about it. We move right knee forward, left hand forward, and then extend left leg back and right arm forward. I am at the wall, so I'll extend my right arm back. And we move back. Left knee lands, right hand lands, opposite to opposite. This last time, right hand lands, left leg lands. Extend the right leg back. Extend the left arm forward. Inhale here. And one more time each direction. Left hand moves forward, right knee forward. And just kind of go along for the ride here. Really dial in. Feel what it's like to move in this way. Again, left leg extends using that glute. Right arm extends forward. You can pull the shoulder up towards the ear as you extend that arm. And going backwards. Left knee lowers, right knee, left knee, and left arm extends, right leg extends. Crossbody cueing is so hard for me. Squeezing that right glute, checking in with the thoughts. And then bring the hands and knees back to a more traditional quadruped, wrists under shoulders. And we'll lower the forearms to the floor. Heading to dolphin, press the forearms into the floor. You can always stay with the knees on the floor if that's better for you. Otherwise, we'll tuck the toes, lift those knees, feeling that torso nice and high. And then whether you're on the knees or on the toes, we'll make some circles between our four limbs here. So angling towards the right forearm, back towards the right leg, left and left arm, right, right, left, left. Just shifting the weight in this circular pattern here. Try to avoid spilling those ribs towards the thighs. And we'll switch directions. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. One more. And we'll pause in the middle. Remember, you can lower those knees if you prefer. Either way, we'll extend the left leg behind us. Keep those toes towards the floor. Exhale, move the leg out to the left. Toes stay towards the floor. And back to neutral. Two more, out to the left. Back to neutral. Press into the forearms, out to the left. Back to neutral, and lower the toes. We'll go right, and then we'll head to child's pose. Right leg extends. Leg goes out to the right, back to neutral, keeping those toes down. Only go as far as you can, keeping the pelvis neutral, back to neutral, out to the right, back to neutral, and lower the toes. We'll lower those knees, take them wide, and sit the hips back, walking the hands forward. And check in here for a moment. Big inhale. And exhale. Check in with your thoughts. Check in with your judgments. And just be curious about them, like you were a scientist, a researcher, learning about a new human being. And we'll tuck our toes, shift our weight forward, walk the feet into a bent knee forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge at the hips, keep length in the spine. Step the right foot back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise for our half kneel. Bring the hands to either side of the pelvis, give a squeeze in again. Sense that consolidation. Hands plant in front of the foot, step back for plank. Lower the knees and exhale, lower to the floor, keeping the shoulders lifted, chest open. Inhale, cobra, chest shines forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, left knee lowers, top of the foot. Inhale, lift. Left glute turns on, hands come to either side of the pelvis, give yourself a squeeze. Release the squeeze, hands plant, step the left foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant, left foot steps back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise. Feel the memory of that consolidated pelvis and the reach towards the ceiling in the arms. Hands plant, step back for plank. Lower the knees and lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, lower the right knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise. Strong foundation here, reaching those arms up to the ceiling. And then hands plant in front of the left foot, step the right foot forward. Bent knee forward fold. Inhale, rise. You can go ahead and start the playlist if you'd like to use it. Exhale, hinging at the hips, hands plant. Right foot steps back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, left arm reaches forward, down and around, taking you into a twist. So we twist over to the left, but feel this right hip really anchored. We'll swing the left arm forward, plant the hands on either side of the foot, right toes tuck, shift it back for a runner's stretch. Both knees are bent and the right knee is hovering here. Shift forward onto that left foot and then walk yourself around back of the mat. Left knee lowers, half kneel here. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, twisting right. Right arm moves forward, down and around to the back. Right arm returns to the front. Hands plant either side of the foot, left toes tuck, runner stretch. Sitting that pelvis back in space, we're really flexing at the hips here, opening up our back chain. Notice what your thoughts are doing. And then walk back to the front, turning to the left side. We'll lower the right knee, top of the foot, inhale, lift. Left arm sweeps down and around for our twist, exhale. Inhale, left arm returns. Hands plant either side of the foot, shift it back, runner stretch. Flexing that left foot. Noticing if you feel stress as that hamstring is opening up. I have a tendency to. And just try to keep your center there. Walking to the right, we'll pause this time at the side of the mat, toes facing forward. Sit the hips back for hip flexion, so we're in this wide-legged squat. Maybe those arms can lift so that they're in line with the ears. Press into the feet, dial those feet out. When we extend the hips coming to stand, and then slightly press the hips forward here. Arms fly back a little. Exhale, sitting back, wide-legged squat. Press the feet, extend up. Exhale, sit it back. Pull up in that low belly there. Don't let it sink on you. And then press the hips forward. Sit back in your wide-legged squat. This time is different. As we press up, we'll lift the right leg on a low diagonal in abduction. So pelvis is staying exactly as it was. We're just hovering that leg out to the right. Right foot lowers, sit it back, arms forward. Shift into the right leg as we stand, abducting left. Step the left foot down. Sit the hips back. Press into the left foot, right leg, abduction. You can use your hands on that pelvis to feel what's happening. Right foot steps down, sit those hips back. Extend, pressing into the right foot, left leg in abduction. Checking in. What is your brain telling your body? Freak out or, okay, I'm experiencing a thing. And we'll step the left foot down, turn to the front of the mat. Right hand lands, right knee lands. Left leg extends back. We can either keep that left leg on the floor or reach through the heel, lengthen the tailbone, lift that left leg. Left hand can come to the pelvis or extend up over the shoulder. If you've got the leg elevated, we'll just bring tiny 1-inch circles up and back with that left leg. Don't let the pelvis move. I'd encourage you to bring that hand to the pelvis to check in. Keep it in line. And we'll pause if you've got that going. We're heading into a little bit of a challenging series. Really, this is an opportunity to make friends with your thoughts, okay? We got this. Turning towards the mat, left hand lands, left toe lands, pause. Press into those hands, exhale, suck the right knee up towards you. Shoot it back for plank. Lower the knees, keeping this chest open. We bend the elbows lower halfway. Press the floor away. Extend the knees for plank. Left knee comes to the floor, slightly in front of the hip. Press into those hands. Exhale, left knee sucks up towards us. Shoot it back. Lower those knees, keep the glutes on, lower halfway. Press the floor away, extend those legs. Right knee comes under you. Press into the hands, exhale. Pulling that knee into a hover. Step the foot back, knees lower, lower halfway. Press the floor away. One more. Legs extend. Left knee comes in. Press the floor away. Left knee hovers. Step it back. Knees lower. We lower to the floor. Inhale. Fly the arms back. Legs lift for locust. Alternatively, you can stick with a cobra here. Either way, we're getting a sense of lift and strength in the front body to protect and lengthen that low back. Glutes are on. How did that go mentally for you? Take a check-in. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck those toes, lift into your down dog. Big inhale here. Feel weight and strength in those hands. We'll go straight to the other side. Right foot steps forward, left knee lowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, right hand comes down and around, opening for the twist. Right arm returns forward, hands plant, runner stretch. Shifting the pelvis back, bending both knees, cultivating that length in the spine. Shift forward towards the right leg and walk to the left. Back of the mat, right knee lowers. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, left arm reaches down and back. Taking our twist. Left arm returns, hands plant to the floor, runner stretch. You can be on the fingertips, of course, here, or blocks or props if you have those. Exhale, shift the weight forward, walk towards the front, turning right. Left knee lowers, half kneel last time. Inhale. Exhale, right arm reaches down and back. Right arm returns, hands plant towards the floor, shift it back for this runner stretch. Check in with the mind here. Notice if that one felt better. A little more open. And then we'll shift a bit forward, turning to the side of the mat. We pause here. You can adjust your feet in a little bit if you need. Toes are facing the opposite side of the mat. Exhale, sit the hips back. We're really flexing in the hips. Maybe those arms reach forward. Press into the floor, squeeze the glutes, extending the hips. Sit it back. Exhale, press the hips a little forward, squeeze those glutes. Sit the hips back. Press it forward. We'll do one more. Sit those hips back, check in with the ribs. They're gonna wanna drip. Be curious about your habits. And then press away. This time we sit the hips back. Press into the right foot. Left leg hovers for our abduction. Toes still facing the same way. And then left foot lands, sit it back. Press into the left foot, right leg hovers. Notice what's happening as we go for these small balances. Right foot lowers, sit the hips back. Press into that right foot, left leg lifts. And left foot lowers. Press into the left leg this last time. Check in with that pelvis. More importantly, check in with your mind. You got this. And then step the right foot forward. Left hand lands, left knee lands, right leg shoots back for a modified side plank. Option here to lift the right leg, lengthening through that heel. Right hand to the pelvis or maybe extending up. If you've got the leg extended, we can add tiny circles moving backward. Remembering tracing the socket of the hip. Trying to cultivate that much focus and curiosity with this small of a movement. And pause if you've got that going on. Notice the anticipation of this plank series. Be curious, and here we go. Right hand lands, right toe lands. Stopping that left knee into a hover. Step the foot back to plank. Knees lower, lower halfway. Keep that chest open. Press the floor away, extend the legs, and right knee comes under you. Press the mat away, exhale, right knee hovers. Shoot it back. Knees land, lower halfway. Press the floor away. Just two more to plank. Left knee comes in. Push the floor away, it hovers. Step the foot back. Lower those knees, lower halfway. Extend. Knees extend, here we go. Right knee comes in. We lift that leg. As we press to lift it, try not to round the shoulders. And then foot steps back. Lower those knees. Glory and relief, we lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra, or squeeze those glutes, lift the legs, locust, flying those arms back. Feeling our length and strength here. Feeling curious about the challenge. And exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift into down dog. Walk those feet in a bit, take a big inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop towards the top of the mat. Sit back in the hips. Inhale, rise. We'll do a couple of sun salves here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Step the feet back to plank. Lower the knees and lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Walk those feet in a touch. Big inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Walk or hop to plank. Lower the knees or lower halfway. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. And we'll pause there today. Taking a check-in moment in our down dog as we head to our second sequence. Left leg lifts, three-legged down dog, keeping the left half of the pelvis facing the floor. We've done this before. Left leg moves out to the left, toes stay facing down, and back to neutral. Two more, out to the left, back to neutral. Don't let those ribs sag, out to the left, back to neutral, and we step the left foot forward. Shift the weight forward, lifting that right leg, standing L. So those hands have done a lot of weight bearing. They'll have a moment of relief here. Cross into that foot. Really feel some opening in the chest and a generous bend in the left leg. Now we're moving to a standing position. We'll walk the hands up the leg. So really root into the left leg, feel that glute wake up. Exhale, pull the core up towards the back body as we, oh boy, I'm falling. Walk those hands up the leg. Right knee lifts towards the chest for stork. Left arm extends up to the ceiling, right arm behind the pelvis. And feel the evenness here using that right hand. Little balance challenge here. Exhale, press the right foot back towards an airplane. Left arm comes behind the pelvis. Right arm hovers above the floor. So we're really hinging in the left hip. Press into the left foot, reverse it. We're going to stork. Left arm lifts, right arm behind the back. Inhale. Exhale, notice those thoughts, being calmly curious about what's going on, even if it's a fall or a wiggle, just a calm noticing. Press into that foot, right knee lifts, stork, left arm extends. Whew, that left leg is feeling it. And exhale, step the right foot back. We'll shift for side lunges, bending in that knee and hip. And moving side to side. Just taking a moment for some fluidity as we move side to side here. Again, I always think of side lunges as a really nice check-in and moment to make it what your body needs. Next time you bend the right knee and hip, we'll pause there. We'll move to standing, pressing off the right foot, hovering right foot next to the left, we land. Right leg extends out to the right abduction. And then bring it back to our hover, baby airplane here. We just slide the right leg back. I'm hitting a wall, so it is very limited, but that is okay. And return to vertical, step the right foot out. We side lunge, we'll do that again. Press towards a standing hover with that right foot. Pelvis stays where it is, right leg abducts. Back to our hover, hinging in this left hip, we come towards a baby airplane. So it's almost like a teeter-totter, a seesaw. Remembering the joy of those. And then coming back to a hover, we step the right foot out, side lunge, press off that foot, standing hover last time. Right leg abducts, back to neutral. The left leg's getting tired. I feel it too. Just notice, don't attach to it. And then we'll bring the right leg back to a hover, step in towards the back of the mat, turn for crescent, twisted crescent. Left hand lands, you can be up on a block or a book, twisting open to the right, almost leaning back into the left shoulder. Big inhale and exhale. One more, just like that, big inhale. Turn on that left glute, exhale, keeping that pelvis neutral. And the right hand lands, we're heading towards dolphin. Remember, you can always make this a quadruped. We'll lower the forearms as the right leg slides back. Maybe that right leg can lift. Bend the knee and just take some bigger hip circles here. Feeling how lubricated that is. We haven't been doing too much circular stuff with the hips, just those tiny ones. But all of the work we've been doing has been influencing those tissues. And then we'll lower the right foot, press into the palms. If you're on your knees, tuck those toes, we'll all lift into a down dog. Pausing here. And then taking some adapted crawls. Opposite hand and foot will move forward. We'll take 3 steps and then back. So left hand moves with right foot, right hand moves with left foot. And we're just returning to this familiar motion in a different form. Being curious, noticing if that feels freaky or okay. And then pause in your down dog. Heading straight to the other side, right leg lifts, 3-legged down dog. Pelvis stays neutral as we bring the right leg out to the right, toes stay facing down. That left glute feels it, back to neutral. Right leg out to the right, back to neutral. Last time, out to the right, press into the hands, back to neutral. Slide that right foot forward, left leg lifts, standing L. Taking a moment, really feeling the femur drive into that hip socket and the openness of the chest here, just like we were doing cobra. Exhale, we'll draw the core up towards the spine. Start to move the hands to the leg as we walk up the leg and find vertical. Left knee lifts for stork. Right arm extends up, left hand behind the pelvis. Moving towards these hovering airplanes. Press the left foot back, right hand comes behind, and left arm hovers above the floor. We're hinging in the right hip, super deeply, neutral pelvis. Press into the right foot, left knee lifts, right arm extends, left arm behind the back. Exhale, shifting. Left foot moves back, right hand behind, left arm hovers. One more time here. Left knee lifts, right arm extends. Then we step the left foot back, opening for our side lunges. Bend into the knees and hips. Taking a moment for movement that feels good to you. Maybe you get a little sway in the ribs as you go. And then we'll pause, bending into left knee and hip. Press off the foot, we come to stand on the right leg. Anchor that glute down towards the heel. Left leg extends out to the left. And then we slide it back, hinge at the right hip for our hovering airplane. Baby airplane. Return to our hover. And the left leg steps out. Notice your thoughts here as we push off. Do you believe you can do it? You can. Extend the left leg out to the left and shift it back, airplane. Back to our hover last time here. Left leg steps out, side lunge. We press off, landing on the right. Even if you wiggle, it's okay. Notice those judgments. Left leg extends out to the left. And shift it forward for our airplane. Right leg is very awake in this moment. And the left foot steps towards the front of the mat. We turn, twisted crescent. Right hand lands. Flexing in the left hip. Really turning the right glute on so that half of the pelvis doesn't dip towards the floor. Big inhale. Exhale. And then hands come to the mat. Moving towards dolphin as we shift the left leg back. You can always lower to the knees as the forearms lower. Bending the left knee will make some circles in the hip. If you're in quadruped, the motion will be a little bit more restricted, but you can still do it. And then the other way. We'll lower the left toes. If you're in quadruped, tuck those toes. We'll press into the hands, down dog. And then crawl, this time moving first with the opposite side. 3 crawls forward, 3 crawls back. And by crawls, I mean down dog walks. This is really good for building that upper body integration. And just pause in a down dog now. We'll lower those knees, take them wide, sit the hips back for our child's pose. Let that forehead lower. And just take a moment to check in here. And check in maybe with, what has changed physically, but also with where your head is at. Have you noticed anything about what you tell yourself you're capable of? And do you need to keep, latching onto that narrative? Take a big inhale. Exhale. And as you exhale, think about all of those negative thoughts, the things that aren't helping you anymore. Think about them dissipating with your exhale. They start to disintegrate, go away. What a dream if it was that easy, but maybe it is. And we'll shift our weight forward, tuck the toes, walk your way back to Tadasana. Rise, finding your strength and your length. And we'll head straight to our screen here. Exhale, hinging at the hips, hands plant. Right foot steps back, lower the knee. Inhale, rise. Little different this time. Exhale, we'll open up for a goddess. So we press into the right toes, open the right hip. Arms extend up, inhale. Exhale, sit back a bit or sit down a little lower. And then shift the hips back just as far as you can without tipping the pelvis. Inhale, return to vertical. Turn to the back of the mat, hands plant, runner stretch, sitting the pelvis back. Shift into the right foot, left knee lowers. Inhale, rise for our half lunge, half kneel. Oh, I forgot our twist. Right hand comes down and around, opening to twist right. Exhale, push into the left toes, open the left hip, goddess. Arms extend up. Exhale, sit it back a bit, down a bit, and then back as we flex at the hips there. Letting that torso react. Inhale, rise. Turn to the front of the mat. Hands land. Sit those hips back, runner stretch. Straight from here, right hand plants. You can move to modified side plank or side plank by stacking the left foot on top of the right. Left arm extends up to the ceiling. Whichever version you got will come to plank. Left hand lands. You can do this with knees lifted or lowered. Exhale, lower halfway. Push that floor away. Return to your version of side plank, modified or Vashisthasana. Left hand plants plank. Exhale, halfway. Knees can be lowered. Press the floor away and return to side plank or modified. One more time here, hands plant, lower halfway, pause, and lower all the way. Inhale, locust, flying those arms behind you. This time we'll slide the right arm up across the waist and on the diagonal next to our ear. And switch arms. So the left arm goes up on the diagonal and switch. Feels a bit like swimming. Check in with those thoughts here. And exhale, hands plant, tuck the toes, down dog. Left leg will lift, three-legged down dog. Exhale, take it into abduction. Left leg goes left, back to neutral. Left leg goes left, back to neutral. Left leg goes left. Pause. Check in with your thoughts. Are they telling you you can't do it? And then exhale, step the left foot forward. We'll head straight towards this stork position. Right knee lifts, left arm extends up. Exhale, press the right foot back, coming into airplane. Arms can fly by the hips. And then tricky bit here. Press into the left foot, open the right half of the body for half move. So we're basically externally rotating on that left leg. Right arm can extend up to the ceiling. And then we'll shift it back to stork. Right leg comes through. Notice the wobbles, notice your thoughts, and pause. Exhale to airplane. Pausing there. Press into that left foot, opening the right side for half moon. You can use your hands on your body as anchors. Notice those thoughts, see if they're serving you. And then last time, moving back to stork. It's okay to wiggle, it's okay to fall. Right knee lifts. And then step the foot back, side lunges. And this time we're gonna side lunge. We'll start to get a sense of wave in the body, so you can even make kind of paintbrush strokes with the hands, like they were riding an infinity symbol. We're just taking a moment to be more fluid and integrated after all of our very focused work. Next time we bend right, we'll sit all the way back, side lunge. Press off that foot, hover. Abduct the right leg, we've been here. And then if you want to take a bit of a deeper airplane, you can do that. Extend to stand and then step it out, side lunge. Press to hover right leg, right leg abducts, and shift forward, airplane. One more time, press to stand, side lunge. Pressing off that foot, right leg abducts, shifting forward, airplane. And then we lower the right foot, turn to the back of the mat, twisted crescent here. Big inhale. Option to keep the twist as is, just lower the left knee. Option if you'd like to grab the left foot with the right hand. Feeling some extension in the hip there. A little bit of extra opening. And then lower the toes, plant the hands. We'll go straight to down dog. And this time we'll walk our down dog like we did that crawling motion, but just walk your way to the top of the mat. So you make a small circle. I mean, you can make as big a circle as you want. Be curious, follow your bliss. And walk those feet forward. Exhale. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. One more side here. Exhale, hinging at the hips, hands plant. Left foot steps back, lower that knee, rise for half kneel. Exhale, left hand lowers, turning, what am I doing? Right hand turns for a twist. It felt strange. And then left arm opens up as we press into the left foot for goddess. Right arm extends up to the ceiling. Lower a couple of inches and then shifting those hips back, letting the torso come on the diagonal. Pull the front body up. Inhale, extend. Turning to the back of the mat, hands land. Shift those hips back for runner's stretch. Pressing into the left foot, right knee lowers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, now the left arm opens behind us for a twist. Press into those right toes, opening up to a goddess position. Left arm extends up. Exhale, sit the hips down and shift them back, deepening the hip crease in this external rotation, pulling those ribs into the back body. Inhale, extend. Turning to the front of the mat, hands plant and shift it back. Runner stretch. Big inhale. Check in with those thoughts. Check in with your spirit. We got this. Left hand plants, moving to modified or side plank. Yogi's choice. Feeling consolidated and stable in this position. And we'll move in and out of it. So right hand lands for plank, knees can lower or stay lifted. Lower halfway, push that floor away, and return to your version of side plank. Pause, check in. Right hand plants, toes land, lower halfway, press the floor away, return to side plank. This is our last one. Right hand plants, we lower halfway, pause, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or take a locust, flying the arms by the hips. And we'll draw the right arm alongside us up on the diagonal and switch. Left arm on the diagonal, right arm down. Keep pressing into the pubic bone as we alternate here to really protect the low back, keep it lengthened. Just two more. And the hands plant will tuck the toes, lift into your down dog. Big inhale. As you exhale, right leg lifts. Pick up the front ribs and abduct the right leg out to the right. Back to neutral, out to the right, back to neutral. Last time, out to the right, we hold. Notice what's happening inside. You got it. And then step the right foot forward, rise immediately for stork. Left knee lifts, both arms can extend to the ceiling. Exhale, shifting forward, left foot presses back, airplane. Feel a strong neutral pelvis here. And then just picture yourself rotating it for half moon. We'll press into that foot, open up the left side body, pausing in this half moon. And exhale, calm curiosity as we return to stork, left knee lifts. Exhale, airplane. Left leg flies back. Feel your stability here. Picture where you're going and notice if you're telling yourself you can't. You can. Press into that right foot. We open up, half moon. Exhale, return to stork. Left knee lifts. And we step the left foot back, turn left for our fluid side lunges. So make this, I don't know, I can't see you, so really feel the freedom of your movement, what feels good. Don't be stuck to what I say to do. Just find sequential movement throughout the torso, legs, arms, almost like a Tai Chi flow sensation. Next time we bend our left leg, we'll sit it all the way back. Side lunge. Press out that foot to hover, you can do it. And extend the left leg out to the left. Draw it back to neutral. Shift it back for airplane. Torso moving forward, leg moving back. Left foot steps out, side lunge. Pressing off the foot, find a moment of calm there. Even if you wiggle, abduct the leg, shifting to airplane. Press into the right foot, return to our hover. Last time, side lunge, press off that foot, coming to a gentle hover, abduct the leg, shifting forward and back, airplane. And then return to vertical, step the left foot to the back of the mat, turning for twisted crescent, right hand lands, opening up to the left for that twist. Option to lower the right knee, keeping that right hip lifted. If you'd like, you can grab the right foot with the left arm. Whichever version you're in, we'll take one more big breath. Exhale. And return the left hand to the floor. Step back to down dog. Slowly walk your way to the front of the mat in any way that feels good and fun. And then walk the feet forward and we'll make our way to our backs. Heading straight to Shavasana here. Lowering onto the floor in any way that feels good. Closing those eyes when you get there. And settling into any position that's comfortable today for our final rest. The accumulation of all of those check-ins. Take a moment to flash through all of the observations you had, to note your tendencies, your self-talk. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, imagine they could just poof, disappear. Sliding into stillness here for a few moments. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana longer today, go ahead and turn off the video and mute your computer. If you're ready to move, we'll inhale, extend the arms overhead, almost like we were finding our first morning stretch. Reaching long, feeling rejuvenated, and exhale, release that. And let that release bring you up towards a seated position, taking your time to get there. Keeping those eyes closed in these final moments. You can bring your hands somewhere on your body that feels good. Taking a moment to feel your container and to remember that for any of our challenges in life, sometimes that childlike curiosity, that inquiry and self-study can be our golden ticket to being enthralled with the world around us, no matter how many times we see the same thing. We'll take one big inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much for your presence and energy today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thanks, you guys. I will stick around for questions if you have any. Otherwise, I'll be back on Thursday, and I hope the week continues to go well. So see you soon.